it's Monday, April 12th, and you're watching The Great Lost Rewatch. Today we're talking about this Season 6 episode, Happily Ever After. And before we get started, Leslie, of course I will be your constant. Are you kidding me? As long as you'll be mine. So, this is a Desmond-centric episode, and we get a lot of, cool Easter eggs and tie-ins and all this and that. So, just a basic overview of the plot. Desmond, on the island, gets blasted with magnetic testing material, whatever. They're doing a test on him. And he flashes sideways to LAX, where we see him run into Claire and Desmond and Charlie. He's Mr. Widmore's right-hand man. So he has what he wanted in the original timeline, the island timeline, but in the wrong context. He wanted Widmore's approval in the island timeline because he's in love with Penny and he wants to marry Penny, and Charles is Penny's father, which is why he wants his approval. But now he has the approval, but he doesn't have the girl. So you can't have it both ways, it would seem, at least not yet. A few Easter eggs. In this episode, Eloise is wearing a lapel pin, or two lapel pins, but they're stars, but the largest point in each star is kind of pointing to the side, and they're parallel to each other. Whereas in Flashes Before Your Eyes, the lapel pin that she's wearing is a circle. What? The scales, the picture of the scales in Widmore's office. I called that right away. I saw them just as soon as there was a shot of them on the thing. I was like, the scales! During the commercial break, I was like, did you guys see the scales? And I made them rewind the DVR and So it's a picture of a scale with a black rock and a white rock on it, and the scale is in balance. What does that say about the forces of good and evil in this Flash Sideways? Are they in balance? Is that just a picture to make us think of the cave? I don't know. If you'll notice what Widmore's wearing on the island and what Eloise is wearing in the Flash Sideways when she's talking to Desmond, Widmore is dressed kind of in lighter colors, khaki. I mean, his shirt is dark, but kind of got a lighter color palette going on. Whereas Eloise, though she's got some white, a big white afro going on, Eloise is wearing a dark jacket with light underneath. Interesting? I don't know what it means. Reflections, because reflections have been very important in these Flash Sideways. Everybody's been kind of seeing a reflection. Desmond sees a reflection of himself in the oceanic board, and there's Penny's last name. A lot of people have been saying that they do say, yes, Daniel says that Penny is my half-sister, and his name is Daniel Widmore in this, and her name is Penny Milton? Penny Milton. And I'm wondering, some people are saying that instead of Widmore being her father and having a different mother, that Eloise is her mother and she's got a different father in this, because Eloise is the one that's kind of protective of Penny towards Desmond in this Flash Sideways. But I'm just going to throw it out there that maybe Penny is married or separated but still has her husband's last name, that maybe Milton is her husband's last name. Maybe Widmore still is her father and she's got a different mother, but she's been married. So I remember the thing that I wanted to talk about very shortly. So my theory was that when the bomb went off in 77, we split timelines. And so in this, we see that Eloise has an idea of what's going on in the Sideways, as opposed to, what's supposed to be or what has happened another timeline. She's aware that Desmond knowing about Penny isn't right. He shouldn't know about her. And him asking questions is a violation of the rules. Well, how does she know this? If the split happened at 77 when the bomb went off, and things just changed from there on, she would still have Daniel's notebook of everything that happened in the island Flash, right? In the island timeline, right? This week's episode is called Everybody Loves Hugo, and Leslie and I are going to be in the same place this weekend, so my question for you this week, Leslie, is can we do our video together this week? Would that be kosher? think about it. I'll see you guys next week. Bye.
We're gonna need to watch that again.
Delete all these pictures of Saeed I have saved in this folder. Leslie.